Hello and welcome to our latest unboxing video. I'm Eliza. I'm here at the Field Public Library with a box of adult books to go through. Let's start with the first one is the very popular Lisa Gardner's One Step Too Far. This is a chilling thriller about a young man gone missing in the wilderness of Wyoming and the secrets uncovered by the desperate efforts to find him. Next, we have the new Danielle Steele. This is called Invisible, and it is about a gifted young woman who grapples with the legacy of her troubled childhood in order to pursue her dreams. Next, we have a very intriguing cover here. I love this with the tiger. I just love this art. And this is Beasts of a Little Land, and this is by Juhea Kim. And this is historical fiction set in 1917, Korea, occupied Korea. And it looks like it's multiple storylines. A young Japanese officer who's saved by a local hunter, a young girl who's sold to a courtesan school. Oh, wow. So, and it's all just set in the backdrop of the Korean independence movement, which I don't know a lot about. So that sounds very intriguing. I love some good, solid historical fiction. So, Gravel Heart. This is written by Abdulrazak Gurnah, and he won the Nobel Prize in 2021. So even though this is an older novel, a lot of people are wanting to read them now that he's won the Nobel Prize. I think we might be getting a couple of his paperbacks, and actually there were holds on a lot of them. And this one is about 7-year-old Salim in 1970s Zanzibar, and sort of dealing with the upheaval of the revolution. And then there's another storyline where he's living in London years later. We have a new James Patterson with a Paris detective. It says the best detective in New York City is French, and that is co-written with Richard Delalo. The Starless Crown by James Rollins, and look, we got a blurb by Terry Brooks, a classic fantasy writer. This is a very thick book that's the first in the series. It looks like it takes place in a fantasy world with multiple storylines. I'm going to go ahead and say epic fantasy. I do feel like James Rollins also writes more like thriller type. So maybe this will have some crossover appeal to people who like his writing but don't necessarily read a lot of fantasy. And this is a really thick one. This one's heavier too. This is To Paradise by Hanya Yanagihari, who wrote A Little Life. And this this takes place in 3 storylines. One is an alternative past, 1893. And then one is an alternative, I guess, also 1993. And then one is a sort of dystopian future in 2093. Wow. And so there's a lot going on, and it's got, yeah. I'm not going to try to describe everything, but I think if you like her writing and you are interested, you should give it a go. Jacqueline Mitchell, The Good Son, blurred by Kristen Hanna. She's a very popular author, and this is about a woman. Oh, I remember this. This is about a woman whose son accidentally kills his girlfriend and goes to jail, and then this is about her trying to figure out exactly what happened, and family drama of life, very difficult. Uh, oh, so this is by Dana Spiotta. I feel like I got a Dana Spiotta, but it was a while ago. I can't really remember. I do remember liking it. So this is about a woman whose life starts to come apart after the 2016 election. She's 53 years old, and then she falls in love with and she grapples with how to be a wife, a mother, and a daughter in a country that is coming apart in its feet. That sounds good. It says on the back that she is wildly talented writer, and I do remember really liking the other book I read here. So that sounds good. A Little Hope a novel by Joella. And this is a luminous, life-affirming novel. That sounds good. Set in an idyllic Connecticut town over the course of a year. It's intertwining lives of a dozen neighbors. Oh, that's a neat premise. I think many people would appreciate a hopeful novel. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of thick books in this box. We have the new Elizabeth George, Something to Hide. Her books are always very thick. They I thought he was called Inspector Lindley, but they must have shortened it. It just says a Lindley novel, and I saw the cover on this cool cover art. And solid detective novels with her classic detectives and a long running series. So if you are looking for a new detective, never read that, might be a good one. Honor by Trinity Umrigar, who has written a number of very popular books, including The Space Between Us. This one, tells the story of two couples and sometimes dangerous and heartbreaking challenges of love across cultural divides. So it's an Indian American journalist who's returned to India. And oh my gosh. So she's looking at the case of Meena, a Hindu woman attacked by members of her own village and her own family for marrying a Muslim man. And wow, that sounds really intense. And then it sounds like there maybe is a romantic element as well. Really good reviews. I like this cover too with the mangoes, the bright color. This is such a good title. Apparently, there were complaints. This is a memoir by Sharon Gless. I feel like they just nailed it with that that title. And so I'm not that familiar with her as an actress, but I guess she was in Cagney and Lacey, Queer as Folk, Burn Notice, many other shows, and so a lot of sort of inside of her life in Hollywood. The Big Heat: How Donald Trump Fleeced America and Enriched Himself and His Family. This is by David K. Johnson. And um, and it's all about how uh, Trump used the White House to make money for himself and his family and his friends. And it sounds like it goes into a lot of detail about all the ways he did that. How civil wars start and how to stop them. And this is by Barbara F. Walter. And looks at some plots and incidents throughout the United States and tries to figure out whether they are leading to a potential civil war. And then it sounds like the author also has studied civil wars to sort of see why sometimes they break out and sometimes they don't. There she is on the back. It says she's the Rohr Professor of International Relations at the School of Global Policy and Strategy at the University of California. And she was a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. So it sounds like maybe someone who knows a lot about this subject. Let's see, we have 5 more books. 5 more books. The Deep Places, A Memory of Illness and Discovery. This is by Ross Douthat, who's the well-known New York Times columnist, and this is about him acquiring a mysterious illness in summer of 2015, which left him sleepless, crippled, and racked with pain. And he discovers that he has chronic Lyme disease. So I think this will actually have a lot of local interest. This is definitely a issue around here, and just haven't met you yet by Sophie Cousens, and hopeless romantic and lifestyle reporter on a business trip with where she has wait for it. She has an embarrassing encounter with an attractive man, and then she realizes that she's grabbed his suitcase, which is full of intriguing contents. I am laughing so hard. I feel like this Yeah, someone understood the assignment for writing just like a romantic comedy. Um, so she commissions a surly cab driver to ferry her around and to track down the suitcase owner, and also, I guess, learn stuff about her parents. I'm guessing my money is already on this surly cab as possibly another romantic. No, Lucky, a novel by Marissa Stapley. The Reese's Book Club. I feel like I have multiple Reese's Book Club. Reese's Book Club is very busy. Oh, Lucky Armstrong is a tough, talented grifter who has just pulled off $1 million heist with her boyfriend Carrie, and she's going to start a brand new life when things go sideways. Anthem, a novel by Noah Hawley, who wrote Before the Fall, which I remember being very popular. And this one is about, whoa, wow, gosh, there's a lot here. Where do I start? Something's happening to teenagers. There's something called the Float Anxiety Abatement Center. Simon Oliver's trying to recover from his sister's tragic passing. He breaks out and joins a woman named Louise and a man called the Prophet. And then there's somebody else called the Wizard. And then they start a rescue mission for a man whose sister is being held captive by the Wizard. I think this is amazing. It sounds, wow, that's not what I expected from the summary. But it sounds like there's a lot of stuff there. Definitely, if you are intrigued, it says that this isn't a fairy tale. It does seem like it has enough characters to be a fairy tale. If you liked his other book, or if you are intrigued, just give it a try. Last book, Five Tuesdays in Winter. This is stories by Lily King. I often, in my years of a librarian, have learned that short story books not always as popular as novels, but her novel was so popular, Writers and Lovers, that people are clamoring for her book of short stories, which is a really good sign. And so just a lot of different stories. A reclusive bookseller, two college roommates having a reunion, a proud old man who's powerless to help his granddaughter, a writer receiving a visit from all the men who have tried to suppress her voice. Well, highly recommended. And again, a lot of people loved her novel so much that they going for the short stories, which I love. I think I personally like a short story, so I'm glad when those get read. That was my box. That was kind of a big box. It felt like a little bit of a marathon. Hopefully the video wasn't too long. But we will be getting all of these books out on the show. Bye.